Hello, and welcome back to Cordially Invited. Ignore the slightly ominous extra time countdown that we had there for a moment. Nothing is happening, I swear. But welcome back to our... I had to look at the calendar to remember what day it was. It's Wednesday.
Every time.
Where we are going to be playing D&D 5e with these lovely people, my trio of pure chaos. As they attempt to do the most difficult thing, which is to get a wedding to go off without a hitch. Currently, there's a lot of hitches. A lot of things have been happening, which happens when you have magic and royals and now sabotage? Who knows? Before we get into our now somewhat interestingly planned recap, I'm going to turn it over to Scott, who has some wonderful announcements for us.
Yeah, just a couple quick things. Don't forget there's lots of other games that play throughout the week on the Dice Cult, both Twitch and YouTube. But if you're just joining us or if you're new to the channel and you use Discord, we'd love for you to join our Discord community. You can find a link down in the description below. But also, we added tonight, there are links to our D&D Beyond character sheets there. So we use D&D Beyond. You'll see this side, the rolls, the dice rolls over there. That is from our live dice rolls in the D&D Beyond app and the Encounter Builder. And you can actually go and view our character sheets at the links down in the description below. They will be updating live as we play with hit points and usage. You can see abilities that we're using and things like that. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, well, you'll just see a snapshot of wherever. Maybe we'll be level 10 when you're watching this. At the time of recording, we're level 5, so who knows? But yeah, check out. What's that?
That would be exciting, but also a long time away from now.
I just assume by the time we finish this hunt, we gain 3 levels. That's what I'm hoping.
Totally. That's absolutely the plan. That's assuming that you survive the hunt, which is the first of 3 tests.
Right.
We gain 3 levels for every test that we finish. And then by the end, we'd be
not
11
teens.
Or no, we'd be 14. Yeah.
14.
Yeah. I like it.
If you'd like to be level 14, I can readjust my big bad plans, and we can absolutely do that. It's going great for you guys right now. I will say I don't have my backup plans for if there's a TPK up currently. So, I had it up last time just in case.
Well, speaking of big bads and TPKs and things going wrong, I believe, Jackie, you were interested in us trying to do a synopsis this evening as a players.
Yeah, I want to see what you guys remember from our last episode and how it differs from what I remember, or if you leave anything out. So this is a test of my wonderful players' memories of what happened 2 weeks ago in our session. Who wants to take a stab at it?
Jump at once.
Well, we fought 4 little creatures whose hats were also their faces. Pretty much did remove one such hat and wear it. We beat them all, and then something happened.
What happened after that?
We talked to a raven.
We did talk to a raven.
Went to a raven's house. His giant tent, and had a
magical
a bit of a heated conversation. I believe. Bird and
even Dove got kicked out.
Yes, you did.
And we prepped for.
Did make a promise.
Not step foot inside. I cast detect magic and found some things. There's something underneath the cart, And there was also something coming from the tent of the guy who
Yes. Yes, there was magic. I did my looking for aberrations,
Mhm.
I think, and I found one.
There was
Oh,
lingering
yeah.
hints of aberration on a mark
Yes.
under your heart.
And I feel like you felt some out in the forest somewhere too.
Mhm.
Maybe if I pull up my notes, this will be easier.
Funny how those
Halfway
work.
into the recap, then we pull up the
Okay.
notes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we prepped for breakfast,
yes.
which involved
Breakfast plans.
someone's the guard for the princess is making breakfast, if I'm not mistaken.
Dane is helping
Dane.
you make breakfast.
Helping. Of which Primac's gonna add some mild poison into to try to serve to the
Smile.
prince's retinue. Mild
Mhm.
poison.
We're gonna get
in the-
arrested for an assassination attempt.
Mhm.
In the hope that they're unwell for the hunt.
Yes. That's all. After that, Dove went and sat with her birds and had a chat. And little did she know there was a watcher the entire time. Neve, invisible in the forest behind her.
For a little bit.
Yeah. Until revealed herself, and they had a bit of a conversation about their past and everything that has happened since, and maybe started retying some
Maybe a
rope.
little bit of reconciliation.
Yeah, just a little tiny bit.
Ooh.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Yes.
I think you hit most of it.
And right after that, Premac was, I guess one of the last ones up, where he was just getting in his tub to sleep, and saw something suspicious at one of the tents, whose name and ownership I can't remember.
Corcoran, the guy you pissed
Corcoran.
off before this creepy little fight, who didn't like you much, and you put him face first into the dirt, which
Right.
really probably solidified that dislike.
Right. Okay. Yep. So someone who Premac would probably love to piss off more. Gotcha.
You know, this is the game where Scott pisses off all my NPCs. And we're going to see how that goes for him. So this is where we're going to pick back up. Dove and Neve were practicing in the woods a little bit for your morning distraction routine. I will give you guys a chance to come back in a moment. But Premac, as you're climbing into... do you sleep in the tub? If you're just joining us, the tub is a whole thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the tub's his safe space, I think.
Okay. So as you are putting the tub to rights and preparing for sleep, you do catch out of the corner of your eye, you just see the flap of Corcoran's tent that you had seen him go into before close. You don't see who goes in, you don't see if it was Corcoran, if it was anyone else, but you just see it close.
Is there anyone? Are there guards still wandering around?
There are, you would know because you've been on the road enough for this trip, that there are guards who usually patrol in twos in sort of slow circles around the camp between the princess and the prince's retinue. There's no one's like sitting at any of the fires which have started to dwindle, and you don't currently see the patrol guards. You assume that they're sort of out doing that patrol.
Okay. All right. I think what Emac will kind of slink down into his tub a little bit more, just kind of watching for a moment. Bird and Neve seem distracted by their history. Perhaps next steps for Premac. Past steps for them this evening. Yes. Premac would slip out of the tub, and I'm going to my intention here. I would like Premac to go over to the tent as quietly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Would like to do two things. I'm going to tell you what what I was hoping to do.
Mm-hmm.
Premac will attempt to be over there. He's not going to try to be like super hidden. He's not especially stealthy. But the idea would be I'd like to pull out some material as though I'm looking at the edge of the tent like it's maybe damaged or something. And like I could be looking at it that I caught my eye on something that I might repair.
Okay. So you would like to sneak over to the tent as quietly as you can and make it look like, while you're sneaking, you're trying to make it look like you are inspecting the tent for repairs, or only if you see someone see you that you're going to do that.
Yeah. So I'm not doing the tiptoe like that people would see me and be like, he's sneaking. I'm going to walk over as quietly as I can. And I'm going to crouch down at the edge of the tent where I might be able to hear, but I will pull out immediately like a scrap, I tear off before I get there a scrap of material or something from inside of my clothes, and try to be like just holding it up like maybe this would fit, and just kind of like going through the motions of like looking at the threads and stuff on the tent. So that if anyone did see me and I didn't notice, I have maybe an alibi.
Okay. I would like you to first perform a stealth check.
Okay, this I can do.
Okay. Ignore the sirens.
A 15.
A 15. Okay. Quick moment for me.
Question. Does he pass by Neve and Dove, and do we notice him going that way?
How deep into the woods are you guys?
We were just like at the corner of the camp, weren't we? We were just like
Yeah, we
right
can't be
over
too deep
here
into
on the map.
woods.
That's where
Yeah,
Dove was sitting, right?
Yeah, we need enough. Yeah, because we need enough space to actually do the routine. Because if we're in the middle of the trees, gonna glaive a bunch of
so
trees.
I think we're like over here.
Yeah, let me move my token.
It's going great, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I will say you have had an emotional time this evening. If you would like to notice Premac do this, I will say that you guys could, as you're sort of coming back, potentially see him. You can roll perception checks to see if you spot him against his stealth.
Cool,
Okay.
cool.
Not my best attribute.
16.
Okay.
Oh, 19.
Oh,
Perfect.
Ooh.
Oh, that's wonderful, considering 15. Okay. So yes, Premac, you slide right out of the tub, and start making your way over to the tent quietly, but with a purpose. Neve and Dove, you watch as you sort of go in, and you just see the many-cloaked figure of Premac slip towards the prince's side, headed straight for Corcoran's tent. as he's doing this, you, however, are like at the woods. So if you would like to call attention to it, you're gonna have to be a little loud, and either you're gonna have to stealth or something. But Premac, you can make it to the tent.
Lovely.
Should
On my
I
way
use
over, may
all
I
my
just use a
spells?
bonus action to second wind?
I have a message.
Yeah.
Hold on. I pulled
Okay.
up a wire and it said, Premac, where are you going?
You can respond to this message.
Oh, a 1 plus my con is +4. I have a high constitution. So
Yeah,
I
totally.
gain 5 hit points. Perfect.
Yeah,
20
these guys haven't
points.
long rested either after their last fight, so
We're pretty bloody.
it's great.
What did you say?
Premac, where are you going? Where are you going?
Do I have to speak out loud to respond?
Yes.
Yes, you have to. You can
It's a
whisper.
whisper.
You
I'm
can
not going
whisper,
to make
yes.
it affect your sneak roll.
You hear curious who's meeting in this tent.
Do you want some help? Magic help, not me. I can't go in.
You feel like helping? Good team.
Yes, there's a reason. You made me promise not to go in. I want to know what's fucking in there. Come back over here. I'll give you some help.
Oh god.
Shush.
Premac will come and go up, look at the tent briefly for a moment, kind of do a kind of sound like I'm judging the tent or something like that. Just ever so quietly, like just not even like making a sound per se, just like if someone was to see me, because I'm not particularly perceptive, like I'm expecting, see something I don't like, and I'm going to go walk back over towards Neve and start going through my like pockets like I'm pulling out tools and stuff for repairing something. I'm trying to build a story around why I'm at the tent if someone happened to be watching.
Okay. Let me do one more thing. Yeah, you and start heading back over to Neve and Dove, who are standing at the edge of the forest.
Once I get over there,
No one stops you. Just no one around.
something you wanted to do, Neve?
Yes, come here. Let's go out of sight. Step around, like behind the tree where no one can see.
Follow along.
All right. And I cast invisibility on him.
Okay. Solid.
That'll do.
That will
Just
do
less an
for.
hour. And be careful. Don't try not to make too much noise. Good luck.
This is excellent. And I'll try going and walk back. Now, rather than causing a bunch of noise going back, what I'd like to do, looking back over all of a sudden, is I would like my echo to appear in the trees just behind the tent.
In what range can you bring your echo into being? What's the
I can
range
bring
on
it-
your echo?
Yes, I can move it. On your turn, you can mentally... Oh, sorry.
When-
Within 15
Man-
feet. I apologize. I
Okay.
can manifest it within 15. My bad. And
so
then,
you're 35 feet away right now.
yeah, I thought it was 30 manifestation,
If
but
you
it's...
would like to be within 15 feet, you kind of got to be like here-ish.
Okay. that is not going to work. I would just like to walk quietly back up to the tent again, this time with my tools out and a scrap of material.
But
Give me another
Oh, yeah.
stealth check. But you are invisible.
I am
You are
invisible.
invisible.
Perhaps the least necessary part of this stealth for right now. So give me another stealth check.
You do it with
Do I get-
advantage, right?
Do I?
I will give you advantage because I'm nice. That
Isn't
wasn't
it
what
advantage with invisibility?
invisibility is. I think you
Against,
get
like,
advantage if it's for
things you-
visual,
Yeah, for
but
visual.
it's not going to help literally anything else.
Okay.
Okay. Got it.
An
Visually,
11.
yes, it's going to help him cover his tracks if need be. What was your stealth?
11.
With advantage?
Good.
Yep. I should have stayed to begin with.
Hold on. I get to roll
I'm
again.
sorry,
Ignore
I
the
thought that
sirens.
would help more.
Okay. Ignore the sirens behind me. It is the police
I've been
coming
caught.
for. Yeah. Oops.
Coming for pre-Mac.
Yep.
Okay. So where exactly are you going? Can you put yourself where you want to be around this tent?
I think right here. I'm not.
Okay.
Premac is not particularly. I'm just like, go and listen.
Okay.
Approach them.
What would you like to do? You've made it there. You don't seem to see anyone messing with who's around, who's going to mess with you. That no one's looking for you. No one calls out to you. You seem to have made it to this tent fine. What are you hoping to accomplish here?
I'm hoping to accomplish listening in to see if there's any conversation happening inside the tent.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll me perception. That seems like a perception thing, yeah.
Does seem like a perception thing.
It does seem like a perception thing. Yes, eavesdropping
Natural
is perception.
1. 2.
Wow. You actually do see a rip in the tent, and it's like, oh, this is actually a problem. Maybe I should
Yeah.
fix it.
I'm gonna say from where you are. So like you're probably staying. You're not like touching the tent or anything. You're keeping just a little bit back to protect yourself. As another siren comes by, it's an exciting time in the city.
It's a warning sign.
It is a warning
Yeah.
sign every time something has gone wrong here, guys. I will say you can hear voices. They're kind of muffled. You're a little too far away in order to make out what they're saying, but you hear two voices. One of them sounds very present, one sounds a little further away, but other than that, you just hear two voices. Can't tell whose they are, can't tell literally anything about them. Just hear two voices.
Do I see any, with my 2, do I see any phrase on the actual tent itself?
That you can give me an investigation.
That's my strong suit.
I figured.
Thank you.
Yes.
Plus 6, 14.
Okay, a 14. I'm going to say y'all have been traveling for a few days. These tents do look a little bit older. I will say, as you sort of like look around, you see towards that tree line, there is a little slice that is where there's frays and a little bit of holes in the bottom of the tent. Kind of around one of
All
the
right.
stakes.
Well, I'm just going to say this as the player right now. I'm sorry. Second, I'm going to say this as the character right now.
Oh, no.
2 things I'd like to do. 1,
Yeah.
bonus action. The shadow is going into the forest nearby.
Okay.
Maybe like 10, 15 feet off north above me, northwest-ish, like from where I am.
Uh-huh.
That's just an emergency. Second, I'm opening the tent flap, dropping invisibility before I do, and I'm walking inside.
Can you drop the invisibility?
Wait, you're dropping You're
I'm
dropping
the
invisibility,
invisibility.
and you're going
He
into the
can't do it
tent.
if he doesn't attack or cast a spell. If he doesn't attack or cast a spell, it would end. So he could end it if he wanted to.
That's true. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So you'd have to like do something about it. You'd have to actively try to end it.
No, I can say that.
No, I'm just what I'm saying is
you're doing your duplicate. Does that count?
that a
How about
spell?
this? The
Or
spot that
natural
is
20?
frayed, I'm going to take my claw out and I'd like to attack it and put a rip through it,
Huh?
which would hopefully drop my invisibility.
Yeah, sure. Your
Anybody looking
invisibility
just
drops.
sees him.
Yeah, Premac appears. This is what you guys see from the tree line. Premac appears, claw out. He sticks his claw into the side of the tent a little bit near the bottom. And what else are you doing?
I'm going to walk. I'm pulling out my fabric and my repair things, and I'm walking inside the tent.
This is the wall of the tent. Are you ripping the tent open? This is not a door.
There's a rip in your tent.
Right into the.
Are you?
Just staring
Oh
inside
yeah!
the voices were, oh no, Premac comes in. Oh yeah.
So it's the oh yeah!
So are you
I'm at
ripping the tent open?
I'm at 5 hit points, by the way. So
Here's Premac's intention. I want to know who's in there, and what I'll do is I'm going to find a fray. I'm going to it's a bad rip in your tent. I should repair it as a peace offering. And so he's going to walk inside with his stuff out, already talking, saying, "There's a hole in your tent and it needs to be patched. It's better to do from here." And just start talking, walking straight for that hole on the inside,
Can I do something
to see who's in
really
there.
quick? The moment I see him
Yeah.
appear, can I
Sure.
cast Healing Word on him?
Yeah, you absolutely can do that.
Thank you.
Okay. So Premac appears. Invisibility dropped immediately. Claw out, sees this frayed back of the tent. Stands up, turns around, goes around to the front of the tent, where the entrance is, and is going to go in talking.
Just walk in and basically walk in. If it's at the far end of the tent or something, I'm not going to walk straight through the tent. I'd open up the tent and be like,
Yeah.
"I apologize for the interruption. You have a hole on the other side of your tent, and I thought as a peace offering, I can assist with patching it for you."
Okay. Oh man. Okay. Quick, let me roll some things. I'm just gonna roll this to everyone. Cool. 1.
Always interesting when there's D100 rolls.
And wow, fuck that. Okay. What happens as that can be happened? You go into this tent sort of talking, and immediately as the words are coming out of your mouth, something feels real weird. Like as you step through this tent, it's sort of like you have to blink a little bit, like the light looks wrong inside the tent. There are some candles lit, and there's like a single magical light at the top, which you've seen that before. It's just a way of lighting the tent. You do, as your back disappears and the tent flap closes behind you, feel a little bit better because Neve healing worded you.
Thank you. I added 7 hit points.
And you come face to face with Corcoran, who is standing at a table in the center of this tent. This is not a magical tent like Aravin's. It's a fairly simple tent. There's a table with a bedroll that's still made, and a couple chairs and like pillows and things. Corcoran is standing. There's some food on the table, but immediately you see that Lord Nolan is sitting in one of the chairs at the table. I need you to make an insight check.
Okay. 6.
Cool. Lord Nolan's sitting there. Corcoran is standing there, and he was watching the tent flap. And so as you come in, he sort of looks at you.
I apologize. There is a tear in your tent that needs mending, and I thought this might be a peace offering that I could do for my friend here. We had a rough night, the two of us.
A peace offering. How nice. How kind of you to think of that.
So if you're alright with it, I will just... Is now a good time?
Corcoran looks at you and looks at Nolan. Of course. Now's a wonderful time.
Excellent.
And I'll start going over. Do I see anyone else in this place? Just the two of them, you said?
It's just 2 people. If you want to notice anything else, you can give me a perception check.
14.
14. You kind of have to walk past the table to get to that side of the tent where the fray is. And Corcoran watches you. Nolan does not move. Just doesn't move at all. He is just sitting there. He's not even looking at Corcoran. He's just sitting there. And as you pass by, you get that same weird feeling, like the light flickers. When you came in, it felt sort of disorienting as your eyes adjusted, and that same thing happens as you pass by the table, and you go towards the back of the tent. With a 14, you also see that there's a few objects on the table. You see there is a pitcher of what looks like ale or some sort of drink. There is bread that has been cut into, and there are 2 knives on the table. They don't look like knives you would use to cut bread. And with a 14... Hold on one moment. You notice, with a 14, because he did this very badly, you notice Corcoran just slip something into his pocket as you walk by the table. He doesn't stop you. It just feels real weird.
I'll get over to the spot and...
Are either of them saying anything, or are they just silent?
Oh, it's silent. Corcoran's just watching you.
So, are you excited about the hunt in the morning? I've never been on such a thing before.
I can't imagine you would have.
It's very astute.
Your kind doesn't get invited to things like this.
That's also unfortunately accurate. It's been quite a surprise.
Unfortunate.
It is. Being invited to these things has been entertaining, for sure.
Absolutely.
I'd like to start looking at that seam.
Uh-huh.
Keeping aware of where my echo is on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And just start mending it. I will try to keep up conversation as best as Premac does. Not
Yeah,
great.
totally.
Were you making any plans for tomorrow that you might wish to share with me? I am, as you say, not often invited to these things. Perhaps some insight.
Insight for you. Yes. Well, Sir Lizard, my insight for you would to be... Perhaps you could just get back in your cart and go wherever it is you're from. And leave.
That is the eventual plan. Exactly. Eventually.
Might be wiser to move those plans up. A hunt is dangerous. Many things happen out in the woods.
Ah. Are you suggesting my life could be in danger in the hunt?
We're hunting wild boars. It's eminently dangerous.
This would seem like a very inappropriate place to bring such royal emissaries then, as the princess and the prince and... Surely there's safety involved. Some ceremonial aspect to this hunt.
Oh, there's ceremony. Absolutely. We'll do most of the hunting, and we'll do most of the winning for the prince.
Well, as you said, you've done this before. I would not be surprised if you do succeed tomorrow. It's, you have the advantage of experience, of course.
Of course.
This is almost complete here. It will be better. No more water coming through when it rains.
You must be so good at that, Sir Lizard. Serving.
Yes. I do fairly well with all of this. In fact, as you can see, I do wear all of my finest for every occasion. You never know when a little bit of this material may be needed to repair the lackluster workmanship of traditional tents.
Yes, your finest. He is sort of looking down at the table. A little longer in your conversation. He's not moving. But his eyes keep going back to it.
The table to the knife.
To the table.
Well, I think that is it.
It was Corcoran. That's the person who I'm talking to?
Corcoran is the knight guard who is
Right.
here. And Nolan is just sitting. Hasn't said a single word. Hasn't even looked at you.
Okay. I'll turn back to Corcoran as I finish up and stand up. I will not go to my full height. I will stay below his height, kind of crouched over a little bit, head down a little bit. Just be like,
I would like to offer this gift of the repair as my sincerest apologies. I hope I did not cause any offense this evening. I apologize for getting in your way this evening.
Oh, that wasn't good enough, said the lizard.
Oh, is there something else I may assist with?
An apology from one such as yourself should really be done from the proper place. And he points at the ground. Kneel. You can beg my forgiveness.
It's interesting. I think I offer my forgiveness, and I bow to you. But I do believe that should probably end our talk for this evening.
And I'll try to start walking back towards the exit of the tent, the whatever opposite direction, but so that I stay out of his like arm's reach kind of thing.
Okay. Do you back out of the tent? You're not turning your back to him.
I would certainly continue to, you know what, I could see him, he's already hunched over, I would continue to see him bowing to him as they go.
As you bow, one last perception check. There's a multitude of things that could happen in this moment, and I want to see what
I
you get.
understand. 10.
10. With a 10, as you bow and start backing out, you see Nolan twitch, like his hand twitches, and his eyes look to you. He like catches your eyes as you bow. And it's almost like he's begging for help. There's a look in his eyes as you bow and start stepping back out. He doesn't move, he doesn't say anything, and as soon as you sort of realize what's happening, he blinks, and it's gone. He just turns back to Corcoran, who just smiles, sort of grimaces, really. Clearly does not accept your apology.
Okay. Once I get to the tent exit, I will turn and say, now just so I remember, Nolan is the person kind of like he was kind of like doing the emceeing and everything like right from the very beginning, right? Like he's the guy who was announcing us as we arrived and everything else, correct?
Yes. He's been the arranger, he's basically the like nobleman who's been in charge of this wedding planning. So he's the one who hired you. He is the one who's given you all the information so far. But you also know that he has given the information of the boar and its location to the prince's men.
Right. Whereas I would have expected he's supposed to be neutral in this event. He's been not supposed to be part of either team in this sense. As I'm about to leave and doing a final bow,
Lord Nolan, I did almost forget. The princess had one final question for you this evening, before she retires. I do believe she wished to see you at her tent.
He does not respond, but Corcoran kind of grins. He'll be along shortly. Don't worry, I'll send him right to her.
and he'll depart.
Okay. Dove and Neve, you watched Premac just walk right into this tent. Give me a perception check. For we're rewinding time a little bit as this conversation had happened. Give me a perception, both of you.
16. Once again.
16.
I think I want to do my feelings birds. I know that they were shit on earlier today, but I think that they would be very helpful in this situation.
Feelings birds?
Yes.
How? That's the spell, right?
Yes.
Beast Bond?
It is. It is Beast Bond. I have one spell slot left. I'd have to upcast it, but I could use it.
Okay.
Yes.
Does upcasting it give you anything, or is it just...
No. It's
Okay.
just... I just have to upcast it, because I only have a second level left.
That's fine. How long does it take to cast that?
An action.
An action? Okay. When would you like to do that? Like, as soon as... In what series of events would you like to get this? I'm gonna say you have birds available. They're around.
Yeah. I think when I see Premac just appear, I think that's when I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't good now. Everything is bad.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that like the situation within there doesn't turn hostile, so I'd like to keep track of the emotions so that I can tell if they start attacking him. I'm sure that we'd see like ruckuses inside the tent if something did happen, but
Yes.
yeah.
So they can feel emotions, yes?
Yes. I got a 14 on my perception, by the way, just in case
Okay.
that was
That's very helpful.
The bird can understand me telepathically, I can understand it, and it can communicate simple emotions and concepts back to me.
Okay. I will say, so Premac has appeared, ripped the tent, went into the tent fairly quickly. Neve, you notice as Premac entered the tent, there was like a shimmer as he entered, like he disrupted something, but then the tent flap closes and you can't tell what has happened. It's that same light flicker. And Dove, I will say, as your bird sort of goes and kind of hops stake to get a general sense, it's a little muddled because the bird can't see what's happening. And the bird is giving you very confusing signals. There's a very strong sense of disdain, a little bit of hatred.
All that makes sense so far, yeah.
There's a flash of fear that goes away immediately. And
Okay.
I don't know what Premac is feeling in these moments, Scott. I will let you tell us
You
what
feel
like. Simple emotions.
yeah, simple emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You feel extreme what's the word I'm looking for? Just like interest and just like someone.
Like curiosity?
Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Like extreme curiosity and excitement.
Okay. Oh, I probably immediately thought the fear was Premac, but then it's not, so that's confusing. But the curiosity might be. I'm not sure who's who in that situation.
No, you
Other
don't
than
know because
Corcoran.
the bird can't see.
Yeah.
The bird
Yeah.
the bird's just is an empath, and it is feeling some weird things.
Yes.
The bird
Name's
you hear-
Troy.
that you hear in your mind, I'm an empath, and I'm picking up some bad vibes. It's the general overall concept of what's happening right now.
Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate it.
Brittany! Okay.
I can't actually name it that. It would break the naming conventions that I've given, so can't be Brittany.
Okay.
But I will, I'll communicate everything to Neve. I know that you don't really consider this useful information, but there's some strange vibes that are going on over there.
Neve was like on their way to provide cover for Premac, was like about to shift into him and get in his tub. So they're like shedding all the scales as they see him appear in the tent, going, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit."
Yeah.
At this point, I think that's probably a good idea.
Yes, there's...
Right.
For now, I don't think there's any, like, I'm about to kill you other than the mad one.
good.
They're very mad. But somebody's...
Somebody's just fucking in there, so.
Yes. There was some fright, but it only was there for a second. So maybe they were just startled by him. Possibly.
Yeah, I don't think it would be Premac. I'm not sure he feels fear.
No, that was probably... Oh, yep, the curiosity was probably him then. It was...
Yeah.
Yes. Alright. I think it's alright. I'll let you know if anything pops up. Probably just wait to see what happens after that. I have 10 minutes on.
Keep a watch. Fuck me for using invisibility, I guess.
Yes, did you fully explain to him that we didn't talk to him about what the plan was? So,
I just thought he would be more careful, but I forgot the fact that he's not careful, and he doesn't feel fear. So
yes, you forgot he was Premac. That's the problem.
yes, I got so excited by the idea of seeing what was in that tent. For a moment, I forgot that Premac was Premac.
Mm-hmm. Yes. See, I was going to advise against the whole thing, but I didn't think I could stop the both of you, so I just thought I'd see what happens, and this is not...
No, he found out what was in it. So...
Yes, that is good.
He gets out of there.
Alive, yes,
He can
then.
relay it to us.
Yes. Okay, so should we just continue being, like, normal?
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, yeah. This is a very normal thing to have happen. How many guards are around and could conceivably see us? And see Premac going over there and all of that?
So I rolled for a specific amount of time in which the guards would return. They haven't yet, because you don't know where they are in their patrol.
Okay.
You could attempt to look around for them if you would like. There's no one in the camp that's just like sitting out there.
Okay.
I know that there's 2 of the princess's guards and 2 of the princess's guards on like a walk around the perimeter for their watch most nights. You're not sure where they're looking, you're not sure if they're watching, but you know they're generally around.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, let's just hang out and keep an eye on things.
Yes.
The moment I see Premac leave the tent, I'm gonna cast message.
Okay. Yeah, the tent flap would open at this point, and Premac is kind of backing out.
I'll wait until he's like the flap has closed, he's fully out of the tent.
Mm-hmm.
Premac, what did you see? What did you find? What the hell? What the fuck?
Walking back over.
I have very interesting news to tell you.
Whisper in your mind. And if I can return back over.
I managed to fix the tear. There was a loose thread on the back. I think I have proverbially smoothed things over with Corcoran.
Was the point of the mission to do that?
I mean, at first.
Neve sits down
Right.
on the ground.
You see, Neve, this is why we need to talk about the plans before we make them.
Do you
I
think?
think
Okay. Honestly, tell me. Do you think that would make a difference?
No, it turns out it really wouldn't, in fact. I will have to gut him. Top to bottom.
What?
However,
What? Why?
in the meantime, I can tell you this. There was something magical happening in that tent. I seem to have interrupted it, I think. Felt something weird a few times I was in there. And Nolan? I don't think he wants to be in there. I'm not sure he's going to make it out alive.
There.
He seems terrified. A few
Premac,
weird
we really gotta,
daggers
Premac.
on the table.
we really gotta work on you burying the lead.
Apologies.
All right.
So, Lord Nolan.
Too many
was in the
layers.
tent.
He's definitely frightened. That much is for sure. Is there anything else in the tent other than Lord Nolan and
Corcoran.
yes, and
Corcoran.
anything else?
Corcoran.
Sorry. That's my fault.
At this
I would
point, you all
convey what I
mispronouncing his
saw.
name is on
Yeah.
on brand.
Yeah, I would convey
Ron,
what
yes.
convey what I saw, but then return back to the table with the two knives that are not right, out of place. Something magic's happening, and he really, hold on, pronunciation is looking for the wording. Not Corcoran. Corcoran. Oh, I was right. Okay, Corcoran. Like him constantly looking back at the table, and I interrupted something magic, I think.
So, Lord Nolan is coming over here now.
Well, I mean, if he survives what's going on in there, I hope that he'll arrive over here.
Are we going to intercept him? Or are we going to let him surprise the princess? Do we actually have something to talk to him about, or are we just... Is this like a... Do you want to capture him and have me take his place?
No, I mean, I suppose I could just tell him the truth, that he seemed like he didn't want to be there, and I gave him an out.
That was an extreme option. Capture him and you take his... I was thinking maybe you impersonate the princess and then say everything was fine, my question was answered. But no, we can kidnap him and take his place and be in a ritual.
That. I mean, that's also fun.
Both seem decent options.
What's better than doing whatever this ritual is, if it's a ritual in that? That seems rather dangerous.
Well, I mean... We don't know what he's doing. I have a feeling that this is maybe not a one-time occurrence. Just a hunch. I don't really have any evidence for that, though, so...
In the many times that Premac has analyzed Lord Nolan's look, have we ever seen any, knife marks on him?
I mean, I would pay attention to his attire, but I've never specifically...
You would not have noticed any blood on his clothing in your fittings. But otherwise, Nolan probably would not have allowed you to see him in any form of nudity. It would have been over the clothes.
In the tub with Lord Nolan.
I mean, Premac has a way with people.
Nolan is not a tub guy. He is not about the tub life.
Really is anyone?
Other than Premac.
Yeah, that's just it.
Premac's the tub guy.
Telling them what to do and then making them too scared not to do it.
Yeah. But no, you would not have noticed anything no knife marks, no blood on his clothing. Just his general bad fashion sense. That is now canonical.
What I wanted to find out was... Yeah. What I wanted to find out is who was in there with Corcoran. And additionally, I feel it's interesting news to know that Lord Nolan was not ecstatic with the idea of being in there.
That is interesting. I don't know what we can do about it, especially because it's a magic thing. And I don't have any means of, getting rid of magic. I guess we could ask Rabbit. But,
Oh, I could just go tell the princess again if you'd like.
No, I think that would freak her out.
She did seem... Yes, you're right. Well, bedtime then. Breakfast. See what we see.
Yep. They'll all be puking in the morning, so it doesn't matter. Maybe. I'll tell Rabbit in the morning. How about that?
Are we going to... Are we just going to leave the ritual thing then? Call it good?
Oh, well, Nolan's calling me over here this evening, so we do need to take care of that. Or let the princess have a bad surprise. And then realize you were lying.
I could keep an ear out for him. And to catch him on his way over.
Do you want me to impersonate her?
I mean, if you would enjoy that.
Depends on how many many witnesses there are. And
We
where
do
would
need to make
you
sure
know?
you're not seen. I think that would be a lot of trouble if you were seen.
Oh, well, maybe just catch him and tell him questions were answered.
Okay.
Reasonable.
All right.
As you guys are having this conversation, a solid little bit of time has gone by as you're updating each other and figuring all of this out, speaking in hushed tones. You do see two of the guards pass by on the opposite side of camp. They're not, looking at you guys. They're not watching you all. They're just doing their job. They swap out with two people from the prince's side, who go on and go the opposite way. And after a moment, the tent flap of Corcoran's tent, which is now dark inside, opens, and Nolan comes out and looks sort of left and right, nods at the guards as they pass by, and he starts heading towards the princess's tent. Oh, I have Nolan.
Nolan! I'm assuming we go back towards the tub at this point.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, Nolan will get to about the fire.
No, Nolan.
Yes.
Everything all right?
Yes. I'm answering a summons from the princess.
She had another question for you. I think Pramac mentioned, but we got it sorted.
Oh. Alright. Well. You all are
You
doing
feeling all
fine?
right, though, Nolan?
Other than it's the middle of the night in the woods.
Insight check.
Sure, go for it.
Does he seem like he's acting like his normal self? Just in general.
Yeah, go for it.
11.
You haven't spent too much time with Nolan. He's not dropping any hints. He's not looking at Premac weird. He seems to be just generally tired and kind of distasteful of the woods.
Well, hopefully we won't have any more surprise attacks. Maybe keep an eye out under your carts.
Yes, that was rather unfortunate. The deeper you go into the woods, unfortunately, the more rebels find you. Oh, I assume you three are doing all right. Well,
Good night's
4,
rest
11.
should do us all well enough.
Right. Well.
Always good to have when you're out in the wilderness like this. Some comforts of home. Get cleaned up and a nice rest before the hunt in the morning. I suppose off to your tent then?
Yes. I'm going to go and sleep in my tent.
Would you perhaps give him a knowing grin? Care to wash up in this tub for the morning's activities?
How much
Is
I
Premac
blood-
currently
don't
in
mind.
the tub?
Yes.
How much blood is in the tub? Like,
He'll pick up some of the water and just be like pouring it, just like
Over himself?
it's very. Yeah, I can attest. It's good to be cleaned up before a ceremonial hunt, I would imagine.
You want to be very clean for your best pets.
Is this... Look, I'm very flattered, Sir Premac. It is not every day that a man like me receives such an offer from... I'm good, I think. Thank you. I'm very flattered. Very. I'm sure this is a noble custom of your people. However, I do not desire any exchange.
You're good, you think. We hope so too.
I mean,
Good night.
okay.
I do think this is less of a little thing and more of a pre-Mac thing. He really likes the tub.
I can. I am
Good night,
deeply
Lord Nolan.
uncomfortable. Yes, he just turns and like walks away from you all. He is having a night. But
Honestly,
he's
why would you
like-
ever not have your scales completely moist? I don't understand why you would do anything different.
Nolan picks up the pace.
Well, I guess we don't have scales, pre-Mac. You don't need them to be moist.
Ah, alas, you may be right.
You must
You
move
all do
frequently.
pucker a little.
Well, I have luscious fur, so I don't know what you're talking about with the puckering.
There's a lot of word choices happening tonight. I need alcohol.
Nolan goes
voice
back
from
to
on
his
high
bed,
says.
is just like chugs.
Is there anything else you would like to do tonight? Okay.
Pass out.
Yeah. With Lord Nolan propositioned and denied, you all can separate to your various sleeping rolls, tents, whatever you would like, and you may take a long rest.
Excellent.
Didn't die tonight. There's always tomorrow.
There's
Woo.
always tomorrow.
Long rest.
Um,
Long rest.
How are you ensuring the time in which you're getting up as a group?
Ah.
I think.
I could set an alarm bird.
Yes.
You can get up with the
Please.
birds.
Yes.
That is a thing that you are allowed to do. Awesome.
Yes.
Some
I'll
of
just
those
tell, like-
really early morning, almost still nighttime birds.
Do I have like one chicken?
It's just single chicken.
Like, I don't know why I have it. I'm not sure how it got here, but it's been chilling with the group. It just follows us behind. It doesn't fly. It just walks.
I am going to say your birds have to fly.
Yeah, all right. All right.
No
Understand.
chicken.
No chicken.
Chicken denied.
Damn it.
Yes.
Then it's like a gosh, what's like a morning dove? Or those they have the word morning in the name. That seems like they'd get
Well,
up
it's
early.
morning usually like
Morning's in like
grieving.
apologies. That was
Oh
super
shit, really? Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe not that one.
I will say you can have an appropriately timed
Yes.
bird
Yes.
that will wake you up
Excellent.
in the morning.
I've got another kind of morning dove. This one is spelled morning, like good morning. This one is different. It's
your specific alarm bird. Is your morning?
You
dove.
trained this
Yes.
bird specifically for alarms.
Yes.
You're really great, guys.
I misunderstood.
You're good
the
at
name
perception.
despite-
You're good at hunting. You wake up so damn early.
Yes.
I'm glad to contribute.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. I think now would be a wonderful time to take our break.
Sounds good.
As we end this very chaotic evening, long
Ooh.
rest.
Did
And
not
we will.
expect that.
No,
So many things happened this evening.
I hadn't made an encounter for that tent yet. Didn't expect that. Thank
That was
you.
beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you.
You set a lure in front of Premac.
I know,
Yeah.
but I didn't expect him to go inside. So
Shame.
we're going to take a 15-minute break. We are going to be back at 9:30 Eastern. So come hang out, go take a washroom break, get a drink, and we'll be here with you soon.
See you in a moment. Hello and welcome back. Thank you for returning with us to Cordially Invited. I wanted to quickly make note the wonderful music that you hear during our intermission, as well as at our beginning and our very end, is all provided by a fantastic YouTuber that you should check out, Vindsvept. And I'm not just being fun with the pronunciation there. The username for that YouTuber is VINDSVEPT. Vindsvept. And if you put some version of that into your YouTube search, you will find a plethora of fantastic music.
I think they might also be linked in our description.
In the doobly-doo. Yes, you got it.
Doobly-doo.
I can't take credit for that. I'm copying someone else saying that. But yeah.
All right. So you have long rested. You have gotten a night's sleep. Here at the top of after break, one of Dove's birds tweets a little song and wakes you up. Does the bird just wake Dove up, or did you instruct the bird to go around to everyone?
Yes, I think I asked it to peck everybody. And do its like regular alarm, beautiful tweet.
Beautiful. I like to think that you've trained a starling that does not go that low to try and just be like,
yeah, it does its best.
It's really trying.
Yeah, I like to push them to their limits so they can achieve more.
We're really pushing these birds. So yeah, everyone gets a nice peck to wake them up, and it is very, very early. Like the sun is just rising. There's a little bit of movement around the camp. Clearly not everyone is awake yet, but some of the last guards who are on watch are slowly like moving around. They're sort of awake, and everyone else is starting to move. Dane is up. Dane comes out of the princess's tent, and she's sort of like looking for you all with a sort of pot in her hands.
Dane, good morning.
Yes, we are making
breakfast. Yes.
Okay.
While you handle that, I'm going to go have a quick conversation.
Yeah. Yes, I will go put this breakfast on the fire. She's like,
I'm gonna
very awkward.
Yeah. Primac, have you already provided your ingredients?
Primac will have, as soon as he woke up in the morning, begin. I would like to find a bucket and basically begin prepping the poisonous bile.
Definitely do this away from the camp, far away.
Yes, where you can't.
Yep.
No one knows what's going in it. Yep.
Also, are we having two separate pots so that we don't have one poisonous pot and nothing else? Because maybe, yeah.
Sure hope so.
Two pots.
Yep. These seem like details for the cook. Primac is very much just like, I gotta get the ingredients. So yeah, out in the woods somewhere. And
You hear
I'll
a dryad
provide.
just go, ew.
Ew.
I'm gonna go with him
Perfect.
out into the woods,
Go for
just
it.
briefly, because I want to talk to the dryads.
Yeah, sure. You go out with Primac. Primac starts heaving, and as it continues for like a second too long, you hear, ew. And like a dryad has like clearly been
step
watching.
over a little bit, so I'm like not nearly as close. Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
So, is this the same dryad that I've spoken to before, or is this new dryads?
I will say it is the same dryad. I can put her on the map there.
Okay,
She's in the middle.
excellent.
Same dryad.
Hello again.
Hello.
I am hoping you might be willing to do me a favor. The hunting party over there, there's the prince and the princess, going off to kill the boar, all that fun stuff.
Yes.
The prince, the human, evidently has a path to the boar that has been marked in trees.
Rude.
Exactly. Do you think you could either get rid of those marks or rearrange them somehow? Just make it hard for them to follow that trail that they have.
Counter offer.
Mm-hmm.
We could simply harass them. Make it more difficult for them to keep going. I can attempt to see if we can cover them, depending on what the marks are. I'm not sure how much we'll be able to conceal them, but we can make their lives difficult in following them.
I think that would be lovely. I'm with the princesses group. It does look like the boar is going to have to die, but having understood more about the nature of the forest and the boar, we're working on a plan to protect the forest and all of its powers from falling into the wrong hands. So if you could not harass us, that would be amazing.
That seems agreeable.
Thank you very much. You are lovely. Your trees are beautiful.
You're lovely.
I'm so sorry about him. It's part of the plan to slow them down. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe take that away from here. Just in general.
Pramac, let's find a different spot, huh?
Yes. She's just like back into the tree.
Take Pramac away to probably just a different section of the forest because I don't know where else to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am all done.
Okay, that.
I think I'm tapped for the day.
And you're sure this won't kill them, just make them sick?
Yeah, you see, one dosage is usually enough to injure one, but I'm using 3 doses. I'm using my full day of dosages of my poisoner feat to apply hopefully over a larger group of people. At most, it does 2d8 for one application, so that's like 6d8 total, really, for this whole batch. But it does potentially apply the poisoned if they fail a DC. But again, whatever that works out in terms of what the DM believes, we'll see.
Yeah.
I love the idea that this food has like a vat of damage it can do.
It does.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's math that I actually have planned for since you told me the plan.
I
So
mean, I've
don't worry.
eaten some food that feels like it's doing damage, so I mean,
Correct.
like it's not bad. Yeah.
Experience that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
If this is just Taco Bell. Hashtag not sponsored.
Walking tacos for breakfast.
Yeah, we're gonna pile this slop directly into a tortilla and call it breakfast. It's going great. So, with the special ingredient procured at somewhat of a cost to my psyche and everyone else's, you all are making your way back to the camp.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Over the main fire, Dane does have 2 pots suspended over a little makeshift pole there. And she's sort of like, she's not frantic, but she's looking a little confused as the cooking. And the queen's bodyguard who came with you all as extra protection for the princess is like coaching her through like how to cook these things. And as you approach, you hear him just kind of go, "Why have you suddenly decided to make breakfast?" And Dane sort of is like, I thought," and then she looks up and sees you all and goes, "Oh, you have got the last piece, yes?
Sure do. Freshly picked this morning."
Perfect. Wonderful. Throw it on in there.
Can I have gone out and picked like some berries and other just general edible forest foods and just kind of mash them up so we have 2 pots of like ick? So it's not like dumping ick into one pot and not dumping. They both have their own special color to them.
This is like a solid morning porridge that is not gonna. It's a lot of
like
oats
oatmeal.
right now.
Yeah.
And you can absolutely get some berries to throw in one.
We're making
and
savory oatmeal and
throw in
sweet
the
oatmeal.
other. Yeah.
Savory does damage.
This is yesterday's berries.
Absolutely. There are people who are starting to move around the camp more, and seeing like there's big pots of breakfast being made, and they're starting to grab their things to come and get some.
Premac, let's set up a nice area for everyone to sit and eat breakfast and a place to set the pots on. One side that's closer to the prince and one side that's by the princess.
Excellent. Happy to help.
Yes, get your nicest tablecloths and all of that. Make it look
Gonna make it look nice and pretty.
Jane is like, there are no tables.
Yep, we're going to
nice picnic blankets.
Yeah, picnic. Oh, yeah, we could have picnics.
I'll set up the stage. Just gonna get like
Dane, you look
fallen
like you're
logs.
having thoughts.
Dane's just. No, Jane's just like.
What?
This is
No.
a weird plan.
I want to hear what you have to say.
So we're going to eat breakfast. You're going to put on a show so that we can do what?
Distract
So they
from
will-
the fact that we have 2 separate breakfasts.
Yeah, just kind of to add to the air of things, to make it more festive, because this is a celebration of the start of the hunt. This is
Absolutely.
This is a offering from the princess's team to the princes as a show of good faith and honor and preparation for the start of the hunt.
Absolutely. All right. We'll get these moved around then.
Lovely.
She grabs the pot of ick and starts going over to the princess side. Captain
I'm
Bannister
hoping
takes
that we
the
can
other.
set up like 2 kind of like picnic areas, one that's closer to the princess side and one that's closer to the princesses, and then the princess pot goes in the one by the prince, and etc. And then the stage is like in front of that.
Sure. Absolutely.
And then just kind
can I-
of like encourage people to sit on their sides, but like if there is a little bit of intermingling, it's not the worst.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I pull like some logs from the forest and make some seats in like 2 semicircles? We got a semicircle on each side, so it's kind of like in a big old crescent.
Absolutely.
And then I don't know, go find some nice flowers and kind of sprinkle them around where the performance will be, so it looks
Yeah.
more.
In fact, Dove, as you start doing this, you hear, Mr. Dove, And you see Tristan,
No.
who was your new apprentice,
Oh, God.
jog out from where he was currently setting up, and he waves. And gets as good morning.
Morning. Yes. How are you this morning?
I mean, fine. No one talked to me, so it's a good day so far. And happy to help you with the birds.
You know what? Well, just if you haven't seen the festivities, we're having a performance this morning to celebrate the beginning of the hunt. So the birds will need to be prepared for the performance. I mean, I guess while I'm getting all of the logs and flowers, if you'd like to get the birds ready, yeah, I guess you can do
Absolutely.
that.
Let me just grab some breakfast, and I will absolutely.
Oh, you're going to eat. You're going to eat first, and then maybe you should.
I was going to eat
wait.
while.
No. Oh, no, because the birds will get into your food, and I do not want them eating before the performance because, they poop a lot, and I don't want them pooing all over the stage. So it's best if they go in an empty. Yes, eat later, probably. I will need your help later as well, so just stay around, I suppose.
Okay, yeah, maybe someone will save me some breakfast.
You know what? You could why don't you just stay on our side just for the morning, and then we can get all the things. Unless that's going to be a problem, you can just stay around and then.
Oh no one really cares where I am right now.
All right, yeah, you just stick around then this morning, and then we'll.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's gonna just hang out where your birds are, and he's just gonna start talking to them.
Yeah. Just gonna direct him to fluff their feathers and make sure they're nice and tidy, and just
he preens them.
God.
He gets some water in his hands and a little bird bath, so that the smaller ones can do that, and then just scoop. They form a nice little line into his hands to clean. Seems like he's natural at this.
I mean, as I'm yanking giant logs, I kind of give him a look, and I'm like, well, I mean, at least he's good at it. Maybe there's potential there. Yeah.
And you managed to set up a nice little stage, bordered by flower petals, with a few logs. It's a lot of standing room here. As you set up.
Just enough logs for the noble guests to sit, really.
Totally.
Yeah.
You see the prince and princess have come out of their tents. They're sort of doing morning mingling, and see that this is being set up. Nolan is sort of out by the prince's side, just tagging along, and a raven does not know anything happened last night. Comes over to you all and is like, everything copacetic?
We have things to tell you. And quiet.
Of course you do.
Yep. Of course we do.
All right, maybe after.
Talk.
Yes.
Yes. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the tub.
Yes, we're gonna stay out of the tub for now. Okay. Well, good luck with your breakfast performance, I guess. Which one do I eat out of?
The princess's side. Also, you said you would try to make some illusionary stuff to make it look fancier.
Oh, sure. What would you like? Do you just like some general lights? Do some sounds.
I think we're good for the performance. I mean, just mainly the seating area to make it look really nice and pleasant.
Sure. I can make it look nice. It's not actually going to be nicer.
Absolutely not. I'm not asking you to make the chairs look like anything different. Just make it look like maybe some butterflies flying around, some pretty lights floating, something really quaint and pretty like that.
Anything to distract from the porridge that everyone is eating.
Maybe make the porridge look
Ooh, yes.
nicer than it is.
If you could do
That-
that, yeah.
I can do.
Make both
And
sides look
lovely.
very consistent. Yes.
Yes, he's gonna sort of thumb his nose through, like, his hand moves in a very articulated way for a moment, and you look, and the princess's side that you're closer to looks nicer. There's like nice steam coming off of it. You can see like berries right on top. And he does the same thing from where he's standing to the other side. He's got some distance on his spells. And he has minor illusioned the porridge to at least look similar. And that will
Perfect.
give you a little bit of a boost here. So people are milling about. They're grabbing their breakfast. They're slowly kind of coming to where you've set up the seats. And they're sort of waiting around for whatever this performance is going to be.
All right, I'll probably wait until the two royals, the prince and the princess, come out and take their seats to begin.
The prince is sort of gabbing with people. You all see him talking with that older guard who you had spoken to as Tristan, Neve. He speaks with him for a moment. You see Corcoran sort of tag along on the prince's side for a moment, and they nod, and Corcoran goes and continues about his morning as well, until the prince and princess sort of meander their way closer to each other and end up sitting on opposite logs, but sitting sort of near the front, and people start following in to just either take a seat or stand around on their general sides.
All right. Well, Dove, shall we begin?
Yes. Before the performance, I'll grab bowls of porridge for all of us, me, Neve, Premac, and another one that I will give to Tristan. And say, go sit down and enjoy the performance and all. And then I'll set the ones for us aside, just so, like, we're still eating like everybody else. We're gonna just eat later. It's all normal.
Absolutely.
All right. I believe I'm ready.
I believe I am too.
Okay, shall we do an announcement to make sure everyone is seated and has gotten their food?
I will step up to the middle of the stage. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of this hunt. How are you doing this morning?
It's like a brief moment, and the prince goes, hungover, but good. Ready.
Understandable. I hope this delicious porridge helps fortify you for the day ahead.
You see some people like looking at the porridge, and some of them are like, yeah, sure, it's fine. And some of them are just, it's porridge.
It's porridge. But my friend and I thought we would kick off this glorious day with a performance to get our morales boosted, our spirits rearing to go.
Yes, friend Dove, remember the name.
Yes, indeed. I am Mannequin, and this is Dove. And I will
Tristan
draw my
claps.
sword, throw it high in the air, casting light upon it, and then catch and begin.
Okay. Before I make any rolls happen for your distraction from the ick, I would love to know, what is the performance? Describe to me.
I have an idea.
Okay.
If you would like me to go for it. So, what if Dove makes her flock of birds appear like the shape of a boar, going around, and then Neve can be like the one fighting them fighting it in their usual like flamboyant dance fighting routine kind of thing?
Yes. I believe Dove will command the birds to act as a boar, And while she will do. Oh man, like what can she do as well to join in other than just birds? Maybe acts as like on the other side. Just like I don't know what she can do as well to like add anything to this other than have her birds run around. I'll just direct the birds like a conductor at an orchestra and make sure that they are doing what they should be doing. And yeah, I think that's about all I'll add to this one.
Okay.
I think Neve has this.
I'm going to need animal handling from Dove and a performance check from Neve, who now is
I should have
management.
picked a different skill. Oh god.
23.
Okay.
Is there anything I can do to make this easier on myself? I don't have a very good performance.
I will say, with Neve's help, you could have the help action if you need advantage.
I will happily do that, yeah.
I mean, do I have Tristan's help? Like, he as well?
Sure. You know what? Tristan
Yeah.
prepared
Yeah.
all of these birds so well. They are
Yeah.
clean. They are
They're
fluffed. He has provided you the help action.
Okay. I like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Little friend. Okay. 17.
Nice.
Yes, he did help. He gave me an extra 1 on that.
Absolutely. So you are conducting these birds, moving them in various shapes until
I'll
they
do like
form- Yeah.
I'll sing like an opera like song in the background.
Fuck yeah.
I'm like a grand hunt song, and I'll just a full like deep orc voice and just,
Oh,
as
yeah.
Yes.
as
That
he goes to,
is
like,
absolutely. Go ahead and also give me a performance.
okay.
Can
Then.
I provide help on this one? Just
I don't know how you
maybe
would.
keeping the beat. I keep the beat.
Like so
Yeah.
maybe you step to the beat every time like you
Yeah,
do
exactly.
a movement.
I
It's
step
on
to
the
the
beat.
beat.
Sure. Sure.
I mean,
So
I have
kind.
pretty good performance, so it should be fine. Oh, I rolled a 1 and a 1. I rolled 2
2
ones.
ones. Oh my
Holy
goodness.
I can't sing. Bird can't sing. Didn't realize
Okay.
it first time. Tried. Failed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should have let the
Um,
birds do it. But
Oh my god. Oh,
it's
Yeah.
a
you
7.
were doing so well.
I mean, it's a 7, but I mean it's a 1. But
Mhm.
it turns into a 7.
You know, I'm gonna say the birds are doing great. The birds have formed this like massive boar, looks fearsome. Everyone seems to be getting real into it. Neve brandishes their sword, lit up magically, begins the duel. As a few steps in, you just hear the oddest orcish chant that is on beat, and somehow that's worse because it's bringing attention at every swipe and stomp of how off pitch Dove is. Yes. You can't stop this feeling deep inside of Dove. And as this is happening, you're reminded that you had the conversation last night in which you were talking about new beginnings, and Dove
Mhm.
may have taken new beginnings a little too far with a new singing career.
Yep.
It's going very interestingly.
It is kind of funny that Bird has never done well on her performances every time. She
Never.
might not actually be good at it.
Never.
Intimidated by Neve, maybe. I don't know.
Either that or like Neve was actually the reason. Like Neve was the good one, and I was like,
Dove, can you make an insight check for me?
oh, good. I'm great at that. 11.
11. You're singing. The performance is happening.
Yes.
Is Mannequin trying to signal in any way that maybe the singing should stop as you're performing?
Yeah, just like a little bit like, okay, just like a little quieter.
Yeah, there's and you pick up on that. I'm going to say it was not very hard to pick up on your friend's performance here. And you notice like some lower slashes like down, please.
Okay.
You get the sense. Yeah, go for it.
I'm trying to work on my reading cues because that's what our conversation was about earlier.
Yeah.
So this is a chance to exercise that. So I'm gonna try to lower it like the boar is dying. Like, oh, the boar can't handle it. But then I will do one final rally at the end for a big finale, and then I will stop.
Give me
like,
one
Wait.
more. Okay.
If I detect her doing like a final rally, can I throw a bardic inspiration at her?
Give me an
maybe
insight
I
check.
know. Maybe I can only sing high. Maybe I can't sing low. Let's try that instead.
It's a 22.
Yeah, you absolutely see Dove like knees bent, getting lower and lower and quieter, and you watch as like she takes a breath.
See that, and I'm just like, got this.
And you can now have
absolutely alive. You got this.
bardic inspiration for a final performance check.
Okay. I'm guessing no advantage on this, but that's fine.
You can have bardic though.
Yeah. That's all good. D8? Okay. I'll roll the D8 first. That'll be more interesting.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so you give me a 1?
You're working on
little shaky.
it's not there yet.
Complete confidence.
You give a 1 of health.
Yep. I like the encouragement. The little wink was nice. Okay,
It's
let's
the thought
go.
that matters.
A 21. So it's a 22.
Okay, 22. Yes.
I hit the high note.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You hit the high note as like you go from a boar's growl to like this victorious note. And people are utterly amazed at the change of this. Mannequin, how would you like to finish off this boar made of birds as this note rings out? Is there a flourish? Is there something you'd like to do
Yeah,
that
I would like
finish
to
the
kind of like catch my sword after having flung it and just do a big swipe straight through the mass of the birds, and they kind of all just disintegrate into a flock around me.
Absolutely. You do so, the birds fly behind you, and I will say with an extra gasp because you did, that's a 22, I'm gonna let that roll over to the birds too. They go behind you so you're victorious, and then they shoot forward past you to disperse into the crowd,
And I like get down and kneel, very dramatic bow.
beautiful. People are applauding. There's some people who are like, this is a lot for a morning. But like some people are truly enraptured. Tristan is on his feet clapping. The prince is like, okay, this is a solid hype train. Let's go. As this performance is happening, I will say that was a good enough performance that people are effectively distracted. Premac,
All I wanted.
Yes.
you can tell this distraction is working. There was a brief moment when Dove started singing where it did not look like it was going to be great and people were going to walk away. But there is a pretty good distraction happening right now. Is there anything you would like to do while the performance is happening
100%.
and ending? Yeah.
Premac is moving along behind individuals, looking for the telltale signs of his own handiwork. He knows that he has sold a number of different garments to royal individuals as gifts, and that there's always a possibility that some are going to find their way to places such as this. But he's looking specifically for the garments that he told Neve and Bird about at the dinner a few nights before, the garment that was stolen from his shop with his partner
Absolutely.
weeks ago.
Absolutely. Roll me an investigation check.
Not great. A 12.
A 12. With a 12, you would see that moving around these soldiers who are clearly either enraptured or concerned or at least distracted enough by this performance happening that they're not really taking much notice of you because you're not trying to do anything to them. You're just walking around. You would see that on one of the soldiers, one of the guards, a recognizable symbol. It looks kind of like the pattern that was in the doublet that your partner made. It's like it was a very elaborate pattern, and it looks like it's almost been incorporated into the hilt of a small dagger at one of these soldiers' sides.
Sorry. So I don't see the actual garment that I created, but I
No.
see the pattern that my partner would have done with the magic related stuff on the doublet, also on this dagger.
Yes, you and your partner work very closely together, so any magical runes or anything, she would try and incorporate as close to your pattern as possible so that it's seamless, that you can't tell that it's just straight up magical unless you're looking for it.
Right.
And it's a dagger just sitting on the hip of one of these guards.
Okay. Is the guard on the princess side or the princess's side?
Princess's side.
Princess's side. Okay. Have I spoken to this guard before?
Not at all.
I will, as this is all going, is there any space near that guard?
He is standing, and he is just talking with another guard as they're watching the performance, eating his breakfast. There's space to the left of him and behind him.
During the performance, I would slide up to the two of them and just gesture and say,
I hope you are enjoying the show.
Oh, yeah, yes. It's very entertaining.
It is in fact a great honor to have a performance from both Mannequin and Bird. It has been such a long time since they have performed together in this duet capacity that it's something to talk about. I'm sure those in the know of performance and opera back at the Capitol will certainly be envious of all of those present today.
Yeah, I don't get to the opera much.
Just think about how learned you will seem and how cultured to those who might be interested when you tell them about the performance that you witnessed here today.
Absolutely. I will write home to my mom about it.
And what might your names be?
Oh, the two of them sort of looking at each other, they're like, what is happening this morning? And they sort of like hesitate because you have never spoken to them before at all. And so they will.
You see, I might be able to procure for all of you signatures, autographs from the performers today, and I thought I might inquire. And I'm going to pull out just a scrap bit of something to write on. My name is Premac. The costumes that you see them wearing today, created by yours truly. In fact, I've been taking measurements for people as well. Perhaps I could spend some time getting something even better for you. Perhaps two young men such as yourself like to spend some of your downtime on the town. Dress you up nicely for it when we return.
They again try to exchange glances. Well, Jethro, the one with the dagger, says, and he kind of points to the other guy.
Thank you, and I turn away.
Okay. They're like, okay.
That's enough for him.
Okay, you got Jethro.
That's it. I won't take up any more now.
And I will say, because this performance is just going off so great, he says, "Yeah, my name's Jethro," and you say, "Okay," and you turn. The birds fly out. There's a distraction, and they're quickly something else is on their mind. Then Premac asking them their names and going off.
Thank you.
The performance is done. Breakfast is eaten. Distraction was successful. And everyone starts going about their mornings. The horses are gathered, and they are prepping to start off. There are sort of different ways you can get to the rumored place where this is. It's up to each hunter in order to do this. The horses are getting gathered so that you can start at the same time-ish, though you're noticing, because this is easy to see, a few less horses on the prince's side as people are gathering their supplies. There's one person who's holding like the reins of at least 2 horses and is like looking around for his extra help. A few people are looking a little sick as they walk by, and people are not coming out of their tents as fast as you would think. And it's very clear the princess's side is ready first, as you all are having your morning.
Well,
I think we need to catch up with the raven and then check with the princess and get ready to go.
yes.
Yes.
And change our performance. Did you hear me out there? It was amazing. My gods. Who knew I could sing so well?
At the end, spectacular.
I know.
I think. Have you done that before? In a performance?
No, it was the first time. I thought I would just improv.
Okay.
You know, just try.
Yeah. I think it could use some practice. The end, as I said, was really good. The beginning's a little it needs some refinement.
Sure. But you know, what's the performance? A little rough around the edges. Doesn't that just give it character, really? I think everyone seemed to love. I saw this shock on everyone's faces. I think that they really were surprised.
You saw the shock on mine. That ending was
yes.
the final note. And your best is
Yes.
so good.
Yeah, they did. Oh my gosh, guys! Bird's just gonna run off and talk to her birds. If anyone needs her help with the setting up, she'll help. But she's gonna go congratulate everybody for how wonderful they did.
Premac turns to Neve and says,
For a good portion of that, I thought perhaps she'd eaten the wrong pot of porridge.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a rough start, but we pulled it out. We pulled it through.
No, it was very, very convincing. I mean, lovely. I also need your autograph.
Okay. Why?
To Jethro,
I'm
please, when you have
flattered,
time.
but who?
Jethro.
Okay, yeah, we'll take care of that on the way. I'm going to go
Thank you.
talk to a raven real quick. We go find him.
Yeah, a raven has clearly his tent just sort of collapses and shrinks, and he just puts it in his bag. He is decked out in a little bit more sturdy attire than you've usually seen him in casual painting clothes, and even travel clothes. He's got some bracers on, and looks a little bit more sturdy. And he's looking for you about the same time and says, wonderful performance. It seems to have worked. They seem a little sick.
Yes.
All right. Well,
So, I kept your promise, the promise I made to you last night about not going into Corkery's
Corcoran.
tent.
I did not expect this name to be this difficult.
I didn't either, but it's really
Corcoran.
Corcoran's tent. But Prima did. Not my idea. It was all his.
And?
Lord Nolan was in there, and there was something magical happening inside, and some daggers that seemed very wrong to him. Also, he fixed a hole in the tent, and now he's determined to kill Corcoran.
That's a lot to deal with in this morning. All right. So Corcoran has magic daggers that made Premac uncomfortable, but Premac fixed his tent anyway and now wants to kill Corcoran.
Also, Lord Nolan was there, and it seems like he
Also,
really
Lord
didn't
Nolan
want
was there.
Seems
Wonderful.
like he really didn't want to be there. And something magical was happening, possibly to Lord Nolan.
All right. That can all be handled perhaps after we kill the magical spirit of the forest.
Fair
And
enough,
absorb
but I
its
thought it was
powers.
letting you know. I
Yes.
didn't break my promise.
No, I would have known if you broke your promise. It would have
That's
immediately
true, but
alerted me.
still, I wanted you to know. It was all Premac's idea.
Okay. You know, honestly, I'm not shocked. Very not surprised
Yeah, no,
at the turn of events.
it's a lot.
Okay. Well, we should get going.
Yeah, are we ready to depart? Oh, I also talked to the Dryads, and they said that they would harass the prince's party as they went through to slow them down.
All right, did you ask them perhaps for help leading us?
Yes, to not harass us. Which is
That wasn't my question.
no.
So they're not going to hurt us or hinder us,
No.
but they're not going to help us?
I can go and ask again. I figured
That
there's
seems like
those-
it's going
we
to
have
take a little bit of time. I have a plan. Let's meet up with the princess and everyone. Yes, we can do
All
that.
right.
And he's gonna lead you off. And as a chainsaw goes off behind me, good old 12 o'clock boys. They're trying to cut down the trees out there. God. So the horses have been gathered. The princess's side is clearly much readier than the prince's side. The princess is in hunting gear that looks a little bit more elaborate than what everyone else is in, but as is ceremony. Dane is at her side. They have their horses ready, their gear on. There's a couple guards with you who will be traveling with you to provide some extra protection. But the princess's side seems ready to go. You all have horses. I'm going to make that clear from the get-go. You can ride horses.
Premac has the stuff.
Is Premac in the cart?
Do I?
Is he driving the cart?
I feel like this is that's gonna be cumbersome once we get into the forest itself. So I'm gonna
The rest of the camp
Reluctantly.
is staying there. Like, there are
Oh,
people
okay,
who are
okay.
maintaining this camp. Like, you are going to return to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I will find a guard who has brought me water at least one time before. And
You there. You may use my tub while I am away. As long as you do not let... You know what, it's fine. Just keep it clean.
That
You're welcome.
and
okay. Seemed like a threat. Poor guard.
big toothy grin.
Okay. And you have threatened a guard into protecting your tub. And your group is gathered. It's clear the prince's side is starting to gather. The prince seems fine. He seems okay. He also didn't look like he was eating a whole lot. But his group is moving sluggishly. There are a few people who are kind of stumbling as they get ready and wincing. One guy gets on his horse and immediately looks like he regrets it. But the princess turns to you all and says, "Well, it looks like we may begin.
Let's go.
The sun
I realized-
rose."
The path that I learned while I was pretending to be Tristan, so.
Yes, you didn't get all of the details of the path, but you know that there are markings on the trees that you can follow.
Right.
And that the dryads won't harass you.
Yes.
So as the prince is yelling at his men to start picking up the pace because he turns and sees you all mount your horses, you head off into the woods, and the hunt will begin. And that's where we will pick up next time.
Hunt has
All
begun.
action.
I would like to thank Tristan for his help and tell him he did a great job, by the way. Just, it doesn't need to, just so he knows.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Tristan is like teary-eyed as you give him his first piece of praise.
Okay, and then I will
Ah.
just 2 pats on the shoulder and turn around and walk away.
Yep.
Good.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And
Excellent.
you guys will begin at the hunt. Next time, for
March
the
30th.
30th.
Mhm.
And we'll finally get to the meat of this. Maybe the first trial will be over next time. Because it really won't take you that long once you get there. It's the getting there.
In theory.
Yeah.
It took us
theory.
4 sessions to get through the night before the hunt. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know us.
To be fair, you got ambushed. There was a possession. There was a whole bunch of things trying to prevent you from being able to do any of this. So, almost like, you know, there are hitches.
Just
in
normal
the-
wedding things,
Yeah,
ambushes,
one
possessions.
hitch,
It's fine.
like- A wedding.
Yeah, and
The
now a
wedding
mass
hitch.
poisoning.
Yeah.
Really normal wedding thing.
Yep.
Um,
It's just how weddings are, you know?
Mhm.
really
You poison the
better
food.
you
Yep.
didn't do it in the palace and violate hospitality laws.
Just bad
We're
seafood.
the guests. We're allowed to do whatever the fuck we want.
Well,
We are
you
employees,
are
though.
serving the food. It gets
Oh,
into murky
that's right. Yeah,
territory
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
like,
Okay.
here's a gift, and the gift is poison. It's generally not a good time.
Okay, that's fair. I was just
Yeah.
thinking if we were in the palace, we probably would have just poisoned food that was already
Oh.
made.
Sure, absolutely.
It wouldn't have been a hospitality law violation.
Absolutely.
But
How you would have done that? Maybe with Ren's help, the kitchen girl that you know.
yeah, we would have
but
figured it out. But
we would have figured it out.
we're not there now.
Nope.
This
You
method
are-
went perfectly. It's fine.
It's great.
Honestly,
there's not
it
gonna be
was great.
any repercussions.
No, there's going to be no repercussions at all for the things that you've done. I don't have a list of things ready at all. So, next time we will have the hunt. You will hopefully meet the spirit of the forest. And it will all go swimmingly and nothing bad will ever happen. And it'll be good, right? It'll be so so good.
That's right. That's
Um,
right. Thank you to our viewers again for joining us for
Yeah,
awesome.
thanks so
We
much
always
for
appreciate you.
watching.
Those of you in the future on YouTube and those of us live this evening, don't forget Discord link is in the description below, as well as all of our D&D Beyond characters. So if you are interested in some of the skills or abilities that our characters are using, you will find the live character sheets down below, freshly rested.
Freshly
Cool.
rested, all their abilities, all their spells at the ready.
I used up all my poison.
Fair. And otherwise, feel free in the downtime between our 2 weeks to check out some of the other Dice Call shows. We have some both here on YouTube and on Twitch. Check those out. Join the Discord to hear more. And otherwise, we will see you on the 30th.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I got nothing else.
All right.
This is a great ending.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. See you in 2 weeks.